While I was working on my Minecraft video, which I promise is actually on its way, I just need a little bit more time, I fell down a rabbit hole listening to Minecraft's soundtrack. During my trip, I came to realize that video game music is kind of insane. But not only that, there's some certain tracks and games that confuse the ever-living shit out of me. This looks like it'd be a fun game, but open it up and you get... Getting back on track, I use video game music for the majority of background music in my videos, mostly because I make content that's gaming oriented, and also because a large majority of it isn't copyrighted, except for some reason the Halo 4 and 5 soundtrack, which are copyrighted even though every other Halo soundtrack isn't. Why? Usually background music I find and listen to makes pretty good sense for the game. For example, Mario Kart Wii is a party racing game that when played with friends can lead to some pretty high energy moments, and so the music will usually reflect that. But if you've watched my videos, you've probably noticed this track playing once or twice, which in my personal opinion goes way too hard for a game where the base gameplay essentially involves you jumping around and trying to color in the world around you. CSGO had a soundtrack made for it by the Valve Orchestra, which for a game where 99% of the player base only hears the soundtrack one time in an extremely traumatic experience. Man, I've heard a lot about CSGO, I can't wait to play it. Ah, Jesus, man. And then promptly mute it for the rest of their career seems like effort that didn't need to be taken, but I appreciate it anyway. The Wii channel music was made for a fucking console eShop where you'd spend the majority of your time scrolling through shovelware instead of actually buying anything. Pokemon music has some pretty good bangers, but did you know that a mobile game called Pokemon Masters EX has a soundtrack that takes all of the same themes for the DS games and not only fully updates them for modern audio devices, but also remixes them with entirely new melodies and makes them their own unique bangers? They even went the extra mile and added entirely customized remixes based off of the unique personality of characters that, in the original games, all shared the exact same theme. Talking about music that everyone has heard, but that confuses me for its placement, Trauma Center Under the Knife 2 is a game made for the DS, where the gameplay involves you flailing around your stylus to surgically treat wounds on a battlefield. If you play about 15 minutes into the game, you'll encounter this piece of music, which I'm sure you've already heard. What I think takes the cake for the most unwarranted use for an absolute banger, though, has to belong to a certain title in the Sonic franchise. Now, Sonic is pretty well known for having some banger soundtracks, and with how fast Sonic runs through these games, especially in the modern era, songs like Rooftop Run make sense and fit the gameplay excellently. Sonic R, on the other hand, takes the idea of this cohesion and decides that it's for chumps. For those unaware, Sonic R is a racing game released on the Sega Saturn, and it blows. I might cover it more in depth in a future video, but the game is short, boring, and controls about as well as a dog on a wood floor. Honestly, if you want a fun drinking game, play this game and take a shot every single time you careen into a wall when you didn't want to, and then tell me how expensive the hospital bill was. What doesn't blow about this game is the soundtrack. The moment you hear any of these pieces of music, you'll immediately realize this isn't a game, it's a soundtrack that comes with a game. I won't play the highlights, mostly because I don't have the time to play the entire soundtrack, but instead, I'll just play this song, and you can tell me if it doesn't immediately take this game from a 3 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10.
Everybody supersonic racing, try to keep your feet right on the ground. When you're supersonic racing, there's no time to look around.
And on this note, I'm going to leave a playlist in the description to the Sonic R OST so you can check it out and experience some of the best songs the Sonic franchise has to offer. Again, I apologize for the short video, but I had to throw this thing together super quick because I realized my Minecraft video just needed a little bit more work. So I hope you enjoyed this enough to hold you over, and I also hope that you'll enjoy my Minecraft video next week.